Hi everyone, I'm Abhishek from Team Smler. In this video, I'm going to go over how to set up deep links using Smler. Smler is one of the most inexpensive deep linking and deferred deep linking software out there. If you want to explore further, you can go over our docs and blogs. So let's head down straight into setting it up. So the step one would be register an account. In my case, I already have one, so I'm just going to log in. And this would be the default dashboard which you'll land into. And the very first step is you have to configure your custom domain. In this case, I have this go.sing3y.dev, which is my custom domain. Okay. This can be something like go.google.com, go.yahoo.com, something whichever suits you. Once this is done, the next step is you have to go ahead and update the CNAME and point it to smler.io. To update your CNAME, you have to log in into your domain registrar, which is probably Namecheap, GoDaddy, BigRock, or any other platform in that case. In my case, I'm managing it on Cloudflare. And you see the entry here, which is like go, it is pointing to smler.io. Once you update this entry in your DNS provider, it can take up to 1 hour up to 24 hours to reflect it in all the DNS server across the world. And once that is done, Smler will issue you an SSL certificate. And after that, you can start using your deep links. Now, in this case, in this video, I'm going to go over how to set up with Android, and in the further videos, I'll go over iOS, Flutter, React Native, and you can head down to those videos if you are using those platforms to set it up. Let's start with Android one. I'm going to go over already one which I have set up. Okay, in this, you have to go into your Android manifest file and add this intent filter. And in this intent filter, basically we are just saying if any URL with HTTPS and domain go.sing3y.dev and path is anything, then we want the app to open it. And once you configure this intent filter, make sure this auto verify parameter is true. If you're trying to configure or just getting started, I would highly recommend you copy this entire section, paste it in your project and start with it. This is step one. You have to configure the intent filters, and the step two is you have to add an intent handler. In this case, I have created a function which is handled intent. And we also have on new intent, whenever your app starts without, it's like a warm start, it happens. This function is triggered by default on new intent. These two will trigger the handle intent function. So intent has two data, which is an action, what triggered it, as well as the data which was passed in the intent. In this case, I am handling my intent. If the app path starts with /home, then I'm going to open the home view. If it starts with dashboard, I'm going to open the dashboard view. If it starts with navigation, notification, it's going to open the notification view. Pretty simple setup. I'm going to launch it into an app and show you real quick how it looks. Before we start our app, we have to update the SHA-256 for our Android app. Since we are in dev environment, we can generate it manually, which is using the Gradle command. The incorrect spelling. This is going to take a minute. I'm just going to pause the video. Now the SHA-256 is generated for my app. I'm going to copy this. Copy and head over to default deep link section and Android and paste this SHA-256 over here. Now you might be wondering where this section comes from. You can just copy it from here. It's a standard template. You don't have to, you can just Google it, or you can go over to Android site and read more about it. And you have to update just two things in this. One is the SHA-256 and other one is the package name. In my case, I put it as io.smler.android. Once these two things are done, you can go ahead and start using deep links in your app. So I am going to start it in my phone, and I'm also going to start screen share so that we can observe it right in this menu. Okay. It's going to take a minute. I'm going to pause the video till then. We have our app installed now. Now, let's say if I close this app and this is closed, and I would start my application in here. And if you see, by default, it opens the home screen. Now, with a deep link, you want, based on the URL, you want your app to open a specific screen. Now we are going to test it. I already have 3 links pasted in my Keep application. So as you see the code here, if the URL ends with /home, it should open the home. If it ends with dashboard, it should open the dashboard. If it ends with notification, it should open the notification. So let's test out all the 3 paths in this case. It opens dashboard. All good. Now let's say if I try opening notification, it has opened notification in this case. And if I, let's say, test out home, it has opened home in this case. So this is how just deep link works. Deferred deep link I'll cover in the next video. And also a debugging tip. Let's say you have your application and your app is not working. Like you have your SHA-256 updated, you have your domain updated, you have your SSL certificate, yet the link does not open in your app. I would recommend you go ahead in your app settings and check for this open by default. And you see a section over here, verified link. If this has your link listed and verified, it should open. If not, probably you have one or two things configuration missing. Probably the Android, the Google has cached the asset.json file, which we have configured in Smler. So Google, to increase its speed, it caches this file. So I would recommend you wait for some time and retry it, or just uninstall the app and reinstall it once again. It should start working. Okay. And this is the end-to-end flow of how to set up a deep link with Smler. In the next video, I'll go over how to set up with iOS, React, and other frameworks.